Hey folks, my name is Jürgen, aka Nerd and Proud of It, and Destiny has brought you to my channel today to enjoy a small low-end Antiquities buy together with me. I have been to a tournament recently, an old school tournament, and I bought an unlimited counterspell there because there was a vendor who had some old cards. I'm gonna link to that counterspell video, which I added yesterday to my unlimited binder at the end of this video. But I also bought a few Antiquities cards. And as you know, I love Antiquities. It's my favorite set. I think it's a fantastic set. And sometimes I just get overwhelmed spontaneously by an urge to buy some cards. Antiquities cards I see somewhere because they appeal to me, and this was one of those buys. It isn't a high-end buy, it isn't a high-end buy, but yeah, we're gonna keep this in, the same as the strange lighting, which I don't understand. I got the blinds up, and if I go backwards, it's getting back to normal. And if I get closer to the binder I have here, I'm gonna show it to you in a second. It looks like I come straight out of a Fallout game. It's really weird. At least my eyes come out well, so that's nice. I sometimes, yeah, do these impulse buys, and in this case, it isn't even an expensive buy, and that's okay. But sometimes you see some cards and you think this would go good in a deck of mine, or this would fit well in a deck of mine. This would be good for a deck of mine. And I like to pimp out my decks with old original cards. If I have a vintage deck, I want it to mainly contain vintage cards where possible. And I already put those cards in my Antiquities binder here. And you can see, let's see if I can show it to you. Yes, that's my binder. You can see I have to talk into the microphone here and not bump into the microphone, but that's why I normally prefer an overhead view, but I wanted to do a direct talk to you today because I've done the playmat overview in a video called yesterday with the, like I said, the counterspell. So I got a setup here with one card of the normal set, and then the next card to it in the row next to it is an Antiquities Artist Proof. And I got the normal set complete, and I'm trying to complete the Artist Proof set as well. But in that binder, I put like all my other Antiquities cards or some signed Antiquities cards. And the set I bought is actually a set of signed cards, which appeal to me a lot. And like I said, I like to pimp out my decks. I'm gonna link, by the way, to not only to the unlimited counterspell video, but also to my latest Antiquities Artist Proof addition to my binder, so you can see what I mean with the Antiquities binder. Got a binder for everything: unlimited binder, Antiquities binder. So yeah, that's good fun. Let's see. Let's put this in the left hand. So what I bought, yeah, we're 3 minutes into the video. I think that's okay to show you the cards now. Don't want to keep you waiting, but sometimes I talk too much. I'm sorry for that. So what I bought are these. Oh, yes, but now let's see if we can get them a little. That one still has to move a little out here. Yeah. It's not that easy. But I bought these 4 ATOGs here, and as you can see, all 4 of them are signed by Jesper Meerforce, and not particularly looking for signed cards, but these I think were a really cool playset. So I asked the guy, hey, what do you want for these? And he said like, yeah, like $15 or something. I said like, yeah, would you do 10? And he was like, yeah, okay, take them along. And for $10, the Antiquities fan in me can't leave behind these ATOGs. These very nice, cool 4 signed ATOGs. I definitely think, if you don't know the card, that ATOG, oh, don't bump into the camera, Jürgen, that ATOG is a very iconic card. A very cool card. Let's see. The camera actually picks this up nicely. And let's see if I can. Yes. Now I eliminated the glare. The ATOG is actually a very good card in an old artifact deck, because you can sacrifice one of your artifacts, and the ATOG does get +2/+2 until end of turn. So if you are sure the ATOG will hit, you can sacrifice a couple of artifacts to hit heavy with it. And the signed playset, I think, is just it's just in front of the camera. It's just really cool. Yeah, it's not a good idea to not do an overhead view of this, but hey, that's how we roll here. We go with the flow. What I wanted to say basically is that sometimes to be happy with a purchase or be happy with a unique card you get, it doesn't have to be a high-end card. It doesn't have to be a Mox. It doesn't have to be a Mishra's Workshop. It can be a fucking ATOG, but maybe signed. And if you're not into signed cards, that's cool. I normally am not very much into signed cards neither, but I got my complete set, unsigned. My artist proofs, all of them are signed, and I have a few signed cards of Antiquities. When I flip through the binder, you will see it if you click on that other video that references the artist proof edition, the latest one, because for example, I got 4 of every Tronland signed, and I got all of them unsigned as well, and I got all of them as artist proofs signed, and I got all of them, all 12 of them, signed by the artist, the normal version, so unsigned, signed, and artist proof signed. But in general, I think if I play an old school deck and I use the Tronlands signed, all 12 of them, I use the ATOGs signed, all 4 of them, and I use a couple of cool old artifacts, don't have to be signed or whatever, but just like the original version of them, either unlimited or alpha or beta, of course, maybe even a revised, I would consider. When I use a Soul Ring, for example, I have an old German Soul Ring that is German black bordered. Maybe not worth a lot, maybe it is. I think it's even going for $50 or whatever. I don't care. But that old Soul Ring, I pulled myself out of a limited edition booster, starter, whatever, and I used to play with it. And these things I add to decks. And the ATOG, what's up with the light? Yes, will be added. The playset of ATOGs will be added to a deck as well. So the question here is, that's the story I wanted to tell. The question here is, do you also pimp out your decks? Maybe with foils, maybe with old original cards, maybe with a cool playset you see here that you found signed. I paid $10 for these 4 ATOGs. I couldn't leave those on the table. Just wasn't possible. I would probably go for 2 coffees later on and pay the same price. Then I'd rather skip the coffee and take those ATOGs home, you know? It's not that easy to get signed stuff over here in Europe. And again, I'm not really hunting signed cards. I normally prefer them unsigned if it's an original. But I don't mind signed cards neither. I don't see the whole discussion. I mean, it's the artist's artwork on there. It's the people who drew the card. Why not have them sign it? I think even sometimes to me that adds something. But do you pimp out your deck? Do you add cool versions of cards, original versions, whatever, to your deck? Or do you maybe collect oddities, like signed stuff, a cool playset of, I don't know, I really want to have like 4 original Legends mana drains in my deck. Of course, I have the more recent print of mana drain, at least one of them, I think, like Double Masters or whatever it was, I'm not even quite sure. But, and I use those in my vintage deck now. But it would be cool to replace those with 4 Legends mana drains. It would even be cooler to replace those with 4 artist proof mana drains, but they are apparently very, very expensive, as I got the info. But that's okay, then I'd rather go for the Legends. Overall, I would be curious if you if you buy this low-end stuff, if it makes you happy, sometimes a card for 250 makes you happy. These 4 cards for $10 made me very happy. I added them to the binder. They look excellent in the 12 pocket binder next to each other. Gonna add them to a deck. And if you pimp out your decks, if you add like cool versions of cards to your decks, foil ones, special ones, I don't know, signed ones, artist proofs, whatever. I'm cool with adding those to decks as well. I mean, for me, it's like a normal Magic card. Let me know in the comments, folks. That's all I wanted to show to you today, and I wanted to do it in person, because I think, yeah, sometimes we have to just have a chat and have to just ramble a bit, and you have to just enjoy it, hopefully. Stay healthy, folks. Stay frosty. Have a great weekend. I talk to you next time. Thanks a lot for listening. Bye-bye.